Hi Rose, how you doing? All good?
Busy as usual.
Good. You know what's today? Tonight? Tonight we're gonna tell the story how you died. How about that?
It's an understatement.
Well, let's greet everyone to the Oxford by Night. Episode 8 in between. Who's the boss now? Hello, welcome, good evening, in all the languages, in any of them, in many. My absolute pleasure to greet you again with Rose in a retrospection that was clouded by her memory. You have no idea how this memory came back to you, why it came back to you. But let's go back to that night, to that period of time, which you still cannot put on a time map. It maybe happened a week ago, maybe 5. In this retrospection, Rose, you are still human. It is a busy evening. The restaurant of yours is fully crowded. Every seat taken, every table full, and a queue of 20 people in front waiting at the reception to be seated. Celebrities, noises, television, some kind of private events and separated rooms. All kitchen and all floor is pretty much dancing in cheer. Everywhere where you look around, you see smiling faces, lively conversations. Everywhere you can see fruits of your hard work. It is 15th hour of your shift. It is 10:30, yet crowd still coming in, and coming in. You drop the gloves. You thought to yourself, fuck it. You hand over to the correct people on correct places. And you're just about to just leave this place when David, your beloved assistant, start waving to you from across the kitchen. As a reminder, David is not more than 25, 26 years old. He have a black hairs. He's tired. Also, probably longer shift than you did. In a smart suit with the emblem of the company on his chest. Between the chefs and waiter staff, he's waving to you like he needs urgently to talk with you.
Hi, tiredly make my way over.
You start moving across the staff who was nodding to you and thank you for the shift and in between themselves congratulate the good shift, or sometimes laughing about completely unrelated to works things. As soon as you approach him, he whispered to your ear, very privately, yet very confident. Rose, your appointment is in your office.
Wait.
Yeah, he looks pissed off.
Any idea what about?
I got no clue who he is. You marked it a couple days ago as a star, and told me not to ask questions, therefore I did not ask any questions.
Thank you for following orders.
Not a problem. I think he's waiting there for like quite long. I don't know how he opened the office himself. I think he had a key. Maybe that's some friend of yours.
See to it. I must have slipped my mind. On a shift like this, easily done, really, isn't it, David?
And it's just Thursday. Think what's gonna happen tomorrow.
Just think of the tips, David. Think of the tips.
Yes, ma'am. May I get you any coffee?
Yes, please.
And does wake-up call for 6 o'clock in the morning is still on?
Yep. Yes, definitely. Right. Got a lot to do tomorrow.
Tomorrow your driver is a Benjamin. He will collect you at 6:30.
Lovely.
Have a good evening. And he
You
moves
too,
towards the floor. What do you do?
Make sure I'm presentable. Just, straighten myself out, check that I'm not too dirty from anything in the kitchen, change into a clean chef's jacket if needs be.
You passed through few famous people which you had to stop and at least exchange few words, which means that this person was waiting for another 15 minutes for you. Reporters, journalists, celebrities, pop stars, that kind of stuff, and everybody would like to say something about your steak, about your dessert, about how the place looked like, confirm that they will give 5 stars, or give you the tips to your hands, like, oh, please share it with the staff. And it was enormous amount of cash. So with all of that in your pocket, you went upstairs to see your doors to your office open, widely open. You see inside your clean, untouched by the dust office, a person who's having shoes on your table, on your desk. A man is approximately 30, 36 years old. He's bald. He's having a glass eye in his left eye with a massive scar coming through it, up to a lip. He's in a suit with a black shirt, the button open, some golden chain on it. He's smoking in your office, and the ash is landing in your coffee mug. You see Boris. The cold shiver went through your neck, as his presence is never a good message. Automatically, thoughts came through your mind, like, did you pay the installment? Did you forgot? Well, they gonna break your legs? What's going on? You got my point. Enter and close the fucking doors.
I close the door and think better of making any comments about Boris giving me orders, and turn to look at him. What will it be today, Boris?
First of all, I've been fucking waiting here for 3 hours. Not fucking impressed.
Apologise for that. It's we've had some surprise bookings today. But you know, you should not have been kept waiting, and I do apologise for that.
Lucky it was me, not Dimitri. Dimitri would have your head for it.
Yep, agreed. He is not to be kept waiting.
Your lawyer started digging.
Digging where?
In your finances. And he tracked us. Which mean he knows. Which mean you got his corpses in the trunk of your car. Which mean I'm gonna charge you extra for it.
Okay. When did you find this out?
He contacted police. And our people in police contacted us. He wanted to expose you. Normally, I wouldn't give a flying crap about that. But you're paying on time, and there's no issues there. So Dimitri asked me to take care of it. Now what we do not know is who he shared his information with. I tried to make him talk, but he wouldn't last.
How much extra?
13%. I know you can afford it.
Say, we're in luck that business is doing well.
Right. Ask me to wait another 3 hours and I will burn this building whole with people inside.
No, you will get your 13%. That's not an issue.
Great.
Worked too hard to let this place go up in flames.
I bet. He stood up. Finish the cigarette in your coffee. Clean coffee mug. He started coming towards you. He stopped dangerously close to you. You can sense his aftershave. Rather expensive, yet too much of it, if you know what I mean. Take care of the body. After all, you bought it. He passed through you. With the open hand, he slapped you in the left bottom cheek, like you one of his girls. Kick the door and get out.
He's left me in my office, or is he telling me to get out?
No, he left. Without a goodbye, without a word. He just left. You could hear him starting talking in Russian over the phone. Probably to Dmitri.
I wait until I can no longer hear him, so he's completely out of earshot. Close the door.
You could hear that he pushed someone over the way.
I follow him out just to check that he doesn't cause any other issues while he is leaving the building.
On a corridor, you could see David correcting his suit and his tie, a little bit sweaty. He's definitely a person who has been pushed to the wall. Also, a wall is an indicator of that, as you can see some sort of damage, like crack in the wood. David is moving his back in the pain. He's holding his head. Everything's alright. He looked at you.
Business is good, why wouldn't it be?
Who was that guy? No, sorry, no questions. I do apologize. Anyway, we're preparing to closing, madam. He starts.
Thank you very much, David.
Stretching his neck with a face full of pain and emotional expressions.
David, let the others do the brunt work. We don't need you getting any injuries.
Sure, of course. He went to his office. He turned away.
As he's walking away, I say, "Oh, by the way, here's the number of a good osteopath in case you need that neck seeing too."
Thank you. He took the business card from you. And he went to his office. You are alone in the corridors. You can sense how you're sweating just by this visit.
I go back to my office,
Mm-hmm.
close the door. Try and think about why my lawyer has been looking into my finances.
You assume that this is his job.
When was my last correspondence with my lawyer?
3-4 days ago. Nothing unusual.
Nothing in my emails or anything to suggest work out how much the extra 13% is on top of what I'm owed. On top of what I owe.
Quite a lot. But still manageable.
I put the cash that had been given to me by the different tippers and whatnot, count that, put that in the safe.
You put it to the correct
Check
envelope,
the safe.
open the safe. All the cash is correct. No, not the slightest issue. Everything is booked, everything is in order. No problem. Took you 5 minutes.
I'm going to call my lawyer.
The number you have called is not recognized.
Interesting. I'll put aside the money for Dimitri, so that that's ready. Change into nondescript clothes. Wait for things to quiet down before going and checking my car.
Sure. Well, your car is on the back private parking, so you do not have issues with that. In the next 40 minutes, all the noises, all the CCTV confirm to you that there's only staff that is left and they're cleaning. Well, staff, it is still 60 people downstairs who are wiping the table, lifting the chairs, cleaning the kitchen, whatever, refilling the fridges, all that kind of stuff that the restaurant do at the closure. But the lights are dimmed and they've got their own procedures. You saw on the CCTV that at least 20-30 people did not manage to get in to the restaurant, which is a good indicator to the fact that if you would to expand and put it a second restaurant, it also would have interest of public in it.
So I'll make my way down into the restaurant, thank the staff for a good shift, looking forward to another good shift tomorrow, and then proceed to go out to my car.
It took you approximately another 10 minutes to say bye to various people, clap them in the back, put the thumb up, or whatever kind of goodbye you put with various people that work for you, which, let's be honest, at least 20% you do not know yet, as the variation of the teenagers is quite big. You went through the back doors, reached the private car park. Automatically the cold, fresh air hit your face. It is nice, first of all, due to the fact how stressed you were, although you calmed down a little bit due to the fact. And with a few steps back, you went to the private car park with some massive trash area on your right, plenty of containers, and on the left, approximately 20-25 cars of staff on a private car park. You reached yours, and you swallow your saliva when reaching it next to the trunk of your car, as it is not locked. It is closed, barely, not locked, if you know what I mean.
I don't fully open it, but just enough to see what's inside in the boot.
You looked out there as much as the light allow you to see. It is difficult to recognize the face. It is definitely a dead body. The person was burned alive. You see plenty of deformations after beating. So it looked like this 40 years old person was beaten to death with a baseball bat. On the face, on the ribs, on the arms. Most of the bones are dislocated. skin is swallowed, and then they put the gasoline on him and they light him up. All that remained was filmed, and put it to your trunk, so you can still smell the burned flesh, the petrol, and the blood. Although it makes you feel really sick. To the level that you're gonna puke. You are. It's a matter of 3, 2, 1. You move aside and you start puking on the wheels of your supervisor car. Tears came to your eyes.
Close the boot. Well, what am I going to do with you? Where am I meant to put you? I can't stay around here. I get in the car and just make my way out of the car park and think about where to go.
You leave the car and you're walking away, yeah?
No, I get into the car to get it out of the car park so that it's away from other people.
You get in behind the wheel, you start the engine, and you drive off. Moving forward and turn left, you join the city centre of Oxford. I assume you're driving with the according to regulations of the movement. Obviously, sometimes getting annoyed at people who don't turn an indicator or whatever. The radio turn on automatically with your playlist from Spotify or whatever you are connected to. Your favorite listening album get in. The moment you get into the focus, like where to drive, you start thinking, you turn on the lights, on the indicators, whatever. I fucking hate that song. That was the moment you nearly get an accident. You lost the control of the wheel for maybe a millisecond. You jumped in, your heart become like drums. After a good 5 minutes of driving, you realize that there is someone on the back seat of your car. You see a man in an elegant shirt, red, with a sleeveless t-shirt underneath. He got black hairs, put it up on some kind of gel or spray, an earring, leather trousers, plenty of jewelry, starting from the earrings through rings and chains, a golden Rolex on his wrist. He smiled, and after maybe a second he reached your board to change the song.
You a friend of Boris?
Excuse me?
Boris is someone I know who'd been helping me with my car today. Do you know Boris?
Lady, I have to tell you, you are the weirdest Uber driver in the whole city.
Uber driver?
Aren't you not?
Do I really look like an Uber driver?
He looked at his phone. He swallowed a puke. You know, he looked like to the mirror, to the phone. Oh man, that sucks. I thought you were my Uber driver.
definitely not your Uber driver.
That's explain why you're going in the wrong direction, man.
Yeah.
So where are we going?
I don't really think that's any of your business.
Who's Boris?
A friend?
Okay.
No, a mechanic.
Do you know where's like a club that is gonna be still open? You look like somebody who could use a drink.
In the restaurant industry, you can always do with a drink.
I know shit
At the
about the
end.
restaurant industry, whatever.
Well, clearly,
but I
otherwise you
do
would know
feel
who
bad.
I am.
I do feel bad that I took you for an Uber driver, so I'm more than happy to repay you in a drink. As apologies.
How about I just get you near the clubs, yeah?
That's also great. That song is fucking amazing. He reached to your board and
And
swept
if you're sick
volume
in my
up.
car, you are paying for it.
Yeah, sure, whatever. I said my cleaners.
Make my way to...
You turn around to the city center to find
Yeah.
a clubs. And you actually, by turning to the right, you feel like a fucking Uber driver. You don't know why you're even getting there. Why you just not, stop anywhere and just throw him out. But yeah, maybe
Literally,
you are just a kind
We'll try
person.
and get to the end of the road, just be like, right, you're getting out here, mate.
Exactly. You stop next to one of the most popular clubs that you know still gonna be open and let him in. Although in his state, not sure how many people gonna let him in. You put the indicator on to the right, you stop to the right, and he left. He leave you like 40 quid on the top seat, and he left. And he left with the left doors, and somebody entered from the right.
No, this is not a taxi.
Yeah, just drive. A person is too much occupied with his phone to pay any attention what you are saying or who you are.
I am not a taxi.
You heard
Get
unclocking.
out.
You hear unclocking the gun that was pointed to the back of your head. I said, drive. You looked again to the mirror, to the man in about early 20s, in a suit, black tie, black shirt, and you can see Cold Desert Eagle 5.0. That is not a replica, that is an authentical gun pointed to the back of your seat on the level of your head.
I drive.
Your hands start to sweat.
There must be a mistake. I don't know what's going on here, but I won't say anything. I don't want any trouble.
Well, you got some. Turn left. I assume you don't know who I am, Miss Hathaway. So let me explain a few bits. In your trunk there is a fresh corpse of murdered and slaughtered attorney from the company in London. We got two options. Are we following my plan? Are we going with the standard procedures? My plan, well, it's drastic, but it may work for you well. Procedures will end up you stopping by the police unit and turning yourself in. Which way do you prefer, Rose?
Guessing you're not going to fill me in on your plan. I just have to choose between these two options.
I'm afraid so.
Not turning myself in.
Great. So head to the Littlemore neighborhood.
Okay. Any preferred route?
Whichever. Do one stupid thing, and I will empty my magazine into your bag. We clear?
Very clear.
The moment he said that, his phone started to ring. He answered with one hand. Speak. Yes, she's with me. I don't give a flying fuck that she is under your protection. No. Family from London will look for that. Make me. Oh, thank you very much for your last warning. I don't give a flying fuck that she's your family. She was a reason why my employee was ended. So she will share his faith. I bid you good night, Antonio. He disconnected the phone. I do apologize. It is very rude to decline a phone call from higher than you. You can stop on a cemetery. And you pulled over to the empty parkway. Get out of the car, open the trunk, and start taking Mr. Rogers to the cemetery. I know he's heavy. At least this is what you owe him. Himself, he get out from the car when you turn off the engine. If you turn off the engine.
Have you still got a gun aimed at me?
Yes. Well, not now when he get out, but he's more than capable or able to shoot the car while you're gonna drive off.
I turn off the engine.
You're getting out from the car, I assume.
Yep.
Now you look person into the eye. You see plenty of tattoos on his hands. The dark hairs are waved by the air. The cold air of the night, it's not as nice as it was half hour ago. You don't see any jewelry on him. The tattoos look to be an old ones. Dark eyes that perceive you as something nasty. He despises you. Clearly. He nods his head towards the trunk. He leans on the car. He
Make my
observes.
way to the trunk. Trunk. Try not to vomit again at seeing the corpse.
It came to you. And lifting it up, it's like lifting a jelly in a cling film in a package. It started dripping. You could feel the old wounds that dried breaching again. Well, you took out 50, 55, maybe 60 kg of a dead body. You dropped it on the floor. You could hear splash. And you started dragging it toward the direction where he pointed with the head and the gun.
Body in that direction.
He forced open the gate with bare hand, like it was old lock or something. Or maybe he had a key, but you are too stressed to even, pay attention to that. As you are face to face with the corpses that you are dragging, you're trying to look in every single possible direction. But every single irregularity on the floor makes them leave a piece of flesh behind you. And you can clearly see a trail of blood from car park to the cemetery. Few meters further into the cemetery, he stopped, pointing you a place where the grave is already open. The earth is unburied.
Drag the corpse to the grave.
He
Drop
stopped
it in.
you. He stopped you by holding your arm. It's not for him.
What?
It's not for him.
Then I'm missing something.
Clearly. He will be your first snack.
Can you repeat yourself? It sounded like you said first snack.
Yes, I lost an employee. I need a new one. And you will replace him. Death for death. That's a rule older than anything. And the moment he said that, you could see his eyes start to glow. He moved towards you with enormous speed. He hugged you, he twisted your neck. You were paralyzed by your fear. You were squeezed by his hands that turned like into an iron. Incapable of movement, you start to scream. You could feel your neck bleeding with a warm blood, but the bite itself wasn't painful. Yes, a bite. He bites you, and it become one of the best moments of your life. With every single second, you start to melt in his hands. You start to get high. You start to drift off. You relaxed. Maybe it's because how tired you are. Maybe how good it feels. You never had the time to actually think about it. Until it stopped. And as suddenly as it started, it stopped the same way when you fell on the grass and he was pushed off, which makes him destroy few grave tombstones in the cemetery. The stone ones. A noise that it makes you awake and sober in seconds. You realize you're bleeding, your veins are open on your neck. You are dizzy a little bit, but adrenaline that's kicking in makes you feel sober. You see a man you recognize. Men who come for your birthdays, at least sending you a card. Dear cousin of yours. Your blood family. Anthony. Who pushed this man for at least 20 meters. Turned him into the projectile that destroyed few tombstones on the way and landed on a tree and break it. Next, he knelt next to you. There's a full description. You see a man 20, maybe 30 years old, at the moment smiling to you, trying to comfort you. He put a gaze into your neck with best intention to hold the blood pressure. He is stressed, definitely stressed. He have a black hair, stylishly modeled on the side of the head, shaved side, some kind of sweater, V-neck, as they call it, elegant trousers, and original shoes from an expensive company. Rose, it's gonna be okay. You're not gonna remember any of it. It was a bad accident. It's cool. Nothing happened. Please don't worry. Look at me. Rose. It's cool. It's me. It's Anthony. It's okay. It's a bad dream. It's a bad dream, and you're gonna be fine. I promise.
Yeah. What's going on? Why are you here?
It's a bad dream. Nothing happened. Nothing happened at all. It's okay. You're gonna wake up and you're not gonna remember any of it. His eyes start to glow, just like the other man. And he become very reasonable in the way he's talk. It must be right, isn't it? It must be a bad dream. But
the too many hours.
You clicked, his eyes are glowing just like his, and you were very close to believe him. But something in your mind kicked in, wake you up from hypnosis that you are under. No matter how stupid does it sound, you do not believe him. This is not a dream. You are fully awake that you are bleeding, that the other man bites your neck, drank your blood, and is planning to murdering you, and he's rising behind Anthony, like from the shadows, while Anthony is holding you, trying to convince you that everything is okay.
This is not okay. And this is not a dream. I can feel all of this. And this isn't a dream, and he is still behind you.
The moment Anthony turned, You saw this man executing a one punch, one slap, which make Anthony just flew off for a few meters like a ragdoll. Through tombstones, through mausoleums, hitting the next wall, making the dust go everywhere. The man lifts you up and bites your neck again. Now it was nowhere near pleasure. You start to fight, like you feel that this is the moment of life and death. Whatever you do, it seems to be not enough. You feel like you drift off. But then again, the bite stops when Anthony rushed on him. You dropping on the floor. Again, adrenaline kicks in. Again, you are fully awake. Now, even more than before. This is your second wind. Everything in your body telling you to run. They are fighting on the grass, rolling into it, trying to hit each other with parts of bricks and fists, and both exposed the fangs that you see very clearly. There is some kind of conversation between them. You hear names, offensive words that they expose to each other. One is calling the other fucking lick. The other one telling him it's not his domain. Really chaotic words that goes through your echo. You manage to get up. Your legs are shaking, but you lost a lot of blood.
I try and make to the car as fast as I can.
You start to run, holding by the trees, by the walls, nearly slipping on a trail of blood that you left with the body of your accountant. Few sounds of fight in the background. Another damage done to the cemetery. Another damage done to the trees when they fight. You get into the car. You manage to open it, to start the engine. And the moment the lights get on, they enlighten a person. A person with the umbrella open, in a dark suit, looking exactly like a person that kidnapped you and bite you. But you can clearly see that it's not the same person. The tattoos on him are different. The way he wears the suit is different. Besides, you can still hear the person in the cemetery. With the umbrella in his hand and a dog leash with collar empty in his left, he starts to walk towards the cemetery. From behind him you can see black and red, blue and red lights indicating that police is on the way. You are bleeding. You are weak. The adrenaline is going down. What do you do?
Away from the scene in the opposite direction to the police lights.
You're starting to drive. Well, please test your drive skills And your dexterity. What's the pool?
So 3 for dexterity and 2 in drive.
Sure. That's 2 successes. With holding your neck and gaze gave it to you by Anthony, you start driving off. In the mirror, you see that you're becoming pale more and more with every minute. You drive off maybe a couple of streets when you realize that you're endangering other drivers, which you don't know what every reasonable person did, and stop the car while you know what you're doing instead of just driving off the cliff, if that makes any sense.
I just wanted to get a bit away from the cemetery anyway.
You are in a very quiet neighborhood, an edge of the Oxford, to be honest, from the south part. In here it's a lot of trees, some houses, but they look like they are not occupied, or maybe there are some kind of businesses that are closed at this time. Nowhere to call help. Nowhere to go from that point. You think that you feel that you're not gonna make it.
Do I know what street I'm on?
No clue. The GPS is showing you the road, so it's not even a street. It's a connecting road to Oxford. Is there someone you would like to call to say goodbye? You start to think about it. About Arthur, about your grandma, about work and Dimitri and blood and what you saw. And you're still considering partly a bad dream, but partly you are fully aware that it's happening for real. But it became a bad dream. The moment you fell asleep, it was the moment you fell asleep for good. You drift off. Your eyes become heavy. Your head become light. Nothing unusual for a person that is so tired. You can imagine your surprise when you opened your eyes. You've been awakened by the phone ringing. Your phone indicates that Benjamin is calling you. You are in your own bed in your house in the middle of Oxford. It is 6 a.m.
I reached towards my neck, seeing
Nothing
if it
there.
was a dream.
Nothing there.
I answer the phone.
Madam Hathaway, this is Benjamin, your driver. I'm on my way. I will be collecting you in a half hour.
Sir, of course, Benjamin.
What coffee can I get for you?
It's my usual order, Benjamin. That'll be fine.
Of course. Any newspaper?
Yes, yeah, get the Telegraph or Guardian, something like that.
Of course. See you shortly, madam.
Thank you, Benjamin.
Disconnected.
Get up out of bed and look around my room and down towards where the entrance to the home is.
You can see Chef's clothing just dropped on the way to the bed. Like you've been so tired that you just left all the clothes on the way. When you look to the mirror, you are extremely pale and tired. You look sick. You got a red around the nose, and generally you don't feel very well. Lightheaded, runny nose, and then that kind of stuff. Other than that, no, you don't see any signs of blood. Any signs of yesterday. Other than one thing. The memory of when he bites your neck. This is the only one thing that you're missing. You shakes thinking of that, and you cannot stop thinking of that. How narcotic it was.
Make my way towards the window just to peek out.
Mm-hmm.
Not opening curtains fully because with having a headache, I'm like, no.
Yeah, you looked just to see the weather. It is 6 o'clock in the morning. The sun is bright, but it's looked like not gonna be raining today, at least not in the morning. It is still, not super cool weather. There's no butterflies and birds and all that. No, it is average, normal business day.
Getting myself ready while also double checking the clothes that have been dropped onto the floor.
Chefs. Definitely not what you were wearing yesterday.
What I'm wearing now, had I been changed into something else?
You got completely different underwear.
Do I remember Anthony being there at all, or just the bite?
You remember everything. Everything that was said, you remember. But there's a clearly part you do not remember.
See if I've got any contact information for Anthony.
Yeah, you got his number. You got him on Facebook. It is your cousin.
I'll try and ring him.
Hello. You can clearly hear that he's asleep.
Hi, Anthony. Sorry to call you at this time in the morning, but I've got a feeling I had a strange night last night, and I could have sworn I remember seeing you.
Not that I know of. I'm still in London.
You sure?
Yeah, I would remember if we would party together.
I don't think it was a party, but...
What else we could do? You hear him yawing and you are sure. You are just... nothing can prove you wrong. He have his fangs out at the moment. I would remember if we would party yesterday.
I don't remember there being a party. I think I remember there being a fight.
I don't fight. I'm a doctor. I'm not a fighter. Okay, I'm gonna be a
What
doctor.
were you at last night?
Sorry?
Then where were you last night?
At work. In a morgue.
I sworn it was you.
Nuh-uh. I would text you, I'm coming to Oxford, or you would text me, I'm coming to London. How it always
I
is.
suppose that is what we usually do, but...
Yeah.
Not got any lookalikes in the area?
What? Are you high?
No.
You just had a bad dream. That's what might happen. You just had a really heavy day and a bad dream. And it's all creation of your brain, of your tired brain. That was just imagination. Whatever it was. Don't pay attention to it. And this voice becomes so convincing, so drilling inside your head that you start to giving up to it until something in your mind did not recreate the glowing eyes. You would give up to that if not the picture of the man with the umbrella, if not the sounds of crushed graves. So you were able to resist. Sorry?
Anthony, you said the same thing to me yesterday.
No, I was just at work.
What is going on? I don't believe you, Anthony.
Well, how can I prove that to you? And why would I? That's, again, I mean, like 20, 30, 60 people in the police department in London saw me there. And guess what? Nobody else other than you saw me in Oxford, which is ridiculous, because if I would come to Oxford, you are the only family I've got there. Well, partly family, I know, we are half-bloods, but still. Whatever is happening, I think you're working too much.
Maybe I am.
Maybe think of a holiday. Take care of yourself. Go somewhere for holidays. Or, you know, take some me time.
I don't have time for me time, Anthony.
I'm sure Arthur would agree with me.
Arthur always did know what was best.
Arthur always would agree with me. Hey, I'm a doctor. Take it from me, yeah? I get to go because I'm dropping on my face. I've been all night long in the morgue and I'm like super tired. So listen up. Put yourself together. Stop working so much. Meet a boy or a girl, whatever you like. Have some chill. Yeah?
Speak soon, Anthony.
And maybe think about some pills for sleep if you're having nightmares. I don't know. You're the gastro maestro, whatever. You figure it out. You always do. Now,
Thank you, Anthony.
I have to go. Sorry I wasn't much help.
No
Good
problem.
night.
Good night.
You're disconnected. The conversation with Antonio Giovanni, your dear cousin from London.
He's not telling me everything. What is going on?
Ding dong. It must be Benjamin. And you're still in the underwear.
Oh, shit. Call Benjamin. Sorry, had a phone
Stop.
call. I'll be right down.
1.
I have to call Benjamin. Hi, Benjamin. Sorry, last minute phone call. I'll be right down. I've just got to sort myself out.
Of course, madam, not a problem. I'm waiting in the car.
Lovely. Cool. Right. Make myself presentable, I guess.
Quick makeup. Quick suit.
Yep.
Luckily, your housekeeping services provide you with everything iron, everything ready in a fall, so you just had to wash yourself, put a quick makeup, and maybe in like 15 minutes you put yourself together, still correcting the hairs while you're going downstairs to the car. And you saw a limousine with Benjamin waiting in the car. He obviously get out, open the doors for you. Inside you got your coffee ready with some croissants or whatever, breakfast on the way, with newspapers on the side. He closed the doors after you. He went into the car and he started engine start to drive off. The screen is open so you can see him driving. Benjamin is a person 40 plus, Afro-American, black, grey beard and white hairs, smiling and nice as always. You have no idea where you're driving. You have no idea what's on your plan for today. It's the experience of yesterday just destroyed everything in your plans. Besides, you can see on the first page of Oxford Mail, in between many others, Little More issues. The Little More Cemetery, as the headline stating, was vandalized.
I read the article fully.
Approximately around 1 o'clock yesterday night, the Little More Cemetery, which is counting since 1700, was devastated. Few graves were destroyed, tombstones were broken. Even the mausoleum was destroyed. So obviously the newspapers got their own ideas who's to blame. The police is investigating the scene. Few people were arrested.
Remind me where we're going. Remind me where you're dropping me off today.
BBC, madam.
Oh, yes, of course.
Breakfast television. You have an interview with them.
Of course I do. Oh, sorry, he's had a mad one yesterday, Benjamin, and it's thrown everything out of my brain.
Not a problem. He smiled to you, and his positivity is kind of the sharing thing. At least easy to share. In very next 10 minutes. Sorry?
Seeing if there are any other noteworthy articles in the newspaper, or if it's just the thing about Littlemore.
Nothing that actually gives you any hint. Nothing that you'd pay attention. Other than one of the Denmark's prince was arrested yesterday in Oxford. And you see
every day.
Yeah, Prince of Denmark. One of the side family prince. Still royal, still noble, yet a side member, if you know what I mean. Surname you are not able to pronounce anyway. Probably no one is. And you see a gentleman who treats you as an Uber.
Weirder and weirder.
It's like page 7.
I wonder if he had been at the restaurant then.
He must have been.
I'll have to check that. Check the CCTV. See
Benjamin stopped. He opened the doors for you, and you in front of the building of BBC. Let's time-lapse forward all that memory, because you went in the makeup, schedule, camera, action, light, conversation, promotion of the restaurant, how it is, blah blah blah. You made the breakfast for them in stage on live television. You had the chit chat. You stressed a lot because of yesterday when you were chopping meat, or when you splashed the eggs. You heard your accountant body dropped again instead of eggs. You suffered the brain retrospections of yesterday night while on live television. You are not happy with how it went. You got my point. You can say that it's a stage stress or whatever, but everybody was saying like, yeah, it went wonderful, it was beautiful, but you do not trust them. It went shit. Your brain was still inside the fangs in your neck. And how you want that to be happening again. To the level that you start yelling at Benjamin to get you out of here. So he did. All the BBC experience finished across approximately 2 o'clock. You are an hour and a half late for the meeting with the investors regarding your second local, which David is doing what he can to keep them, but they want to go home already. So in a rush hour traffic in Oxford, again time-lapsing, you get there at 3 o'clock. You storm your office. David is like, they went off. Sorry. And you see the empty office. They're gonna email you. They've been very upset. I stole them for an hour and a half. I couldn't do much more. I do apologize.
There's not really much more that could have been done. Oh, it's just how this couple of days is going, isn't it? Were they upset about anything else or just waiting?
Just waiting. They're gonna reschedule. They know you're busy.
I'll make sure they get...
I'll send them the baskets to the offices. Some apologies.
Along with the complimentary meal at the restaurant on the house.
We'll do that. He went to his office. You sat down in yours. Frustrated, annoyed, angry, and hungry. Hungry for emotions. Hungry for high. You feel like a junkie that is out of his fix.
Have I got anything else in my diary for today?
Just a shift.
I go to the kitchen and see how today's prep's going.
Everything's wrong. You're working with a bunch of incapable of doing simple tasks, idiots that should not be here in the first place. Everything what they do is too slow. Everything what they do is without the detail, with attention to it. Actually, you don't think that in this building you got one single capable person. All after like hour of shouting at them and disapproving their actions, you realize that maybe you are overreacting. And the only indicator on that was David, who looked at you And his eyes would say everything that he had to say. He didn't have to say a single word. You realize that they are best of the best and you are just on the edge. He came to you.
David.
He approached you. Without a word, he gave you a cigarette and a lighter.
I think I might have to step out, David. I can't do this today.
I'm here if you ever need to talk. And I'm here if we need to run the business.
Step out today. I've got a lot of things to fix. And it's, as you can see, it's affecting things here, so that's...
I will take care of that, you take care of everything else. I will call you when I will set up a new meeting with the investors.
Wonderful, wonderful. Make sure everyone gets a drink as an apology. I'm going to go and have a cigarette today.
I will explain you, don't worry. You went outside and for the first time in your life you lighted up a cigarette. You've been sitting on the smoking area, didn't even knew that you got one before. When you saw maybe a 17, 18 years old girl, probably one of your employees, joining you. Well, she doesn't look like your employee, she doesn't have like a uniform or anything. She got a black shirt and a mini dress, elegant shoes. She looked like more like a supervisor, if anything, that you do not recognize her. She is maybe 18, you would say, at the best. She have a long hair, still like her, I would say, yeah, till pretty much the ass itself. Tied it up like a Tomb Raider. She have a small glasses, black sunglasses on her forehead. She joined you for a cigarette. Light it up.
Your name?
Natalie. Yours?
Really?
Sorry. She smiled.
So, you see the restaurant name? Rose's Hideaway?
No.
Yeah.
Ah, that restaurant's yours. Okay.
Yes, I'm Rose.
Okay. My sister works here.
Okay. Are you new here, or are you...
I'm just picking her up.
Just picking her up. Okay.
So you're the boss lady?
Yes.
Are you okay? You don't look okay.
Just having a couple of those days. We all have them from time to time.
Okay.
Who's your sister?
Jessie. Still doesn't ring a fucking bell.
Apologies, I have a lot of staff
I bet.
to remember.
I know
yeah.
how it is, don't worry. You don't have to explain yourself. I mean... But... You don't look okay, if I can say so. I mean, your hands are shaking, your leg is dragging, your eyesight is moving. I know stuff. I'm studying psychology.
Oh, really?
You could use a...
You at Oxford?
Sorry?
Studying at Oxford?
I'm at the practice at the moment.
Oh, which practice is this?
She went to her wallet and she gave you a business card. World-class specialist. Dr. Dimakopoulos. I'm his
Must be
secretary.
getting some good experience.
And the moment she said she's his secretary, she put her head down and rolled eyes. She drifted off. And the first thing that came to your mind, it's a rape victim. First thing that came through her emotions is fear. It looked last maybe 15 seconds at the best, but your senses are killing you at the moment, telling you that she's just recommending you a person she's completely afraid of. In a moment she smiled. He's busy as hell, but he might help you. In a couple more seconds, one of the girls from the dishwashers, kitchen porters came out. Sorry to keep you waiting. She jumped off and she started to go to the car. Nice meeting you.
You too.
She joined her sister and they went to the car.
Strange about her. Maybe I should give this guy a call. I try ringing the number on the business card.
You could hear automated secretary stating that if new booking, press 1, if moderation of 1, press 2, if general information, press 3, on that kind of stuff. And when you actually follow the codes, it states that they do not accept any new bookings for this month. Please call back in different period. It's clearly one of those posh clinics that is very difficult to get. You might need to pull some strings to get a visit.
Who do I know that might be able to sort that out for
Starting
me?
from Arthur through Dimitri.
Probably not through Dimitri, as he's not with all that going on. I tried calling Arthur.
Hello. He answered after very first signal. You hear that you are on the speakerphone. He is preparing some food because you hear chopping. Rosie. How's
Good
everything?
afternoon, Arthur. Hectic to say the least, Arthur.
Yeah, I saw. Of course I was watching.
Yes, that did not go well. I don't know what you thought of it, but from my perspective, it didn't seem to go well.
It didn't. You looked
I-
stressed, at least. Not comfortable in a kitchen, which is weird. What happened?
Several things seem to be going on. There seems to be a problem with my lawyer and accountant. We can't get hold of them, which
Okay.
is wonderful.
Fire him and take a new one.
I would like a new lawyer, yes.
I can recommend somebody. I'll contact
Wonderful.
David and
Thank
we will
you.
organize that.
And yes, and I've been thinking, given how, as you noticed, I was stressed and yes, uncomfortable in the kitchen, which is definitely not like me. I've been recommended to a specialist who might be able to help with my stress, but they are fully booked at the moment.
No,
and-
no, 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 no. Rose, the moment you start going to the shrink, everything falls apart. Believe me, if you would have a problem, shrink would come to you. You would be sent to one. So far, you want to see one? You can overcome that, madam.
Thank you, Arthur. I needed to hear
You are
that.
tougher than that. Just set your mind game. Put your stuff straight. Going to the shrink is the first step of the fall. He will tell you you are sick, you will focus on the fact that you are sick, and then you will not be able to think about anything else that you are sick, and you will think about, does other people see that you are sick, and all that kind of stuff. No, 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 no. Suffocate it. Suffocate your issue. Overcome it. Whatever it is, it cannot be greater than you are.
Thank you, Arthur. You made me this way.
So, instead of going to the shrink, you should go for a date.
Easier said than done. I don't get to meet that many people.
Ah, not a problem. I can fix that.
Really, Arthur?
Yes, your grandmother called me.
Oh, oh, wonderful. What's she been saying now?
She's terrified of you, and she saw the morning TV as well, so she thinking that's the problem. Therefore, you got stable for 2 at 8 o'clock today in the city center. I sent you the address, and if not for me, then you have to go there for your grandmother. If it's not gonna work, it's not gonna work, but at least they're gonna say, like, you didn't like it, fuck it.
Okay, yeah, no, I can see that, yeah. Grandma has been saying for a while I needed to get me a man. Can't be all business, Rose, can't be all business. You have to have something else.
Exactly.
Speaking of love and everything, how is the family, Arthur?
All good. All good. My son is coming next month.
Oh, wonderful.
So all good, I suppose. I will see my granddaughter for the first time, which I am super excited about.
Oh, that's amazing, Arthur. I'm so happy for you.
Life couldn't go better. Although my protege is making a scene on the front of the TV, that's really bad. But I heard a good comment about the business, so I'm proud of it. And business one more thing before you're gonna turn into my lovely wife and all that kind of garden shit that you like to talk and I hate about it. What happened with the investors?
Well, because of the BBC interview and everything, they actually ended up leaving because they had already waited for an hour and a half, but we have already sorted with them. David is rearranging another meeting. We are sending them hampers and making sure they get a complimentary table at the restaurant to smooth over any issues.
Business.
Fortunately.
Business is like starters. Must be done with the speed of light.
Yes.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Don't be cliche, don't send them gift baskets or whatever. You have to visit them by yourself, one by one. Instead of making a meeting, put an effort, go to them, make an appointment by you, speak with them separately. They're gonna appreciate the fact that you are capable of. Don't leave everything to David. Take the initiative. I will check the ground. I'm playing golf with them next week, so I will make sure that they're gonna look positively to your side.
Okie dokie. I will get the information off of David.
We will organize everything in time.
Don't worry.
Okay.
Sorry, what was that?
I said that we're gonna organize everything next week.
Lovely.
I got to go before I'm gonna burn the steak.
Oh, yes, no, don't want that, don't want that. Enjoy.
Have a nice day.
You too, Arthur, thank you again.
He
As
disconnected the
always.
call.
So on top of everything, I've got to go on a date. Just what I need right now. Well, actually, it could be alright. What time are we at now?
4 o'clock.
Oh, 4 hours.
4:30. 4:30 actually, I would say. Just enough time to go home, take a shower, change clothes, and go back to the city center.
Yep, I'll make my way to my house.
You grab a taxi, you went with the taxi to home, talking about random bullshit and general chit chat with the taxi driver. Then you reached home, where you took a long, good, positive, well-needed and well-deserved shower. You picked some clothes, with obviously you didn't know what to pick, so it took you a good amount of time. Then the makeup, and the taxi back to the town center, to the address provided through the text by Arthur. Well, it is a busy pub, it's not a restaurant. A very classic British pub, if you know what I mean. Ale in the jugs and some firewood, and plenty of people. Average age is 40 plus, and everybody reminding the good old times. Through screens are showing up the football game. You have no idea which teams are playing, but they are. Few people react to you like, "Oh, this is her." Like they recognize you. Mostly staff. The chaps doesn't know who the hell are you, other than a nice looking lady who can they smile at. So you came in to the bar itself, to the counter. The blonde girl was like, "Holy fuck!" She recognized you straight away. She got a little bit of starstruck. What can I get for you?
Which of your red wines would you recommend?
Any. And none. I mean, they should. Not to your level. I mean, like, none of them you would serve in your place. You got a table,
Okay,
right?
wine lemonade, then, please.
You got a table.
Yes,
for
there
eight.
should be a table. There should be a table
Yeah,
booked.
it's out there. I saw who came in there, and you might want something strong.
Double vodka, lime, and lemonade, then, please.
Okay. That I got it.
Thank you.
Can it be on me? Can I buy you a drink? Is it okay?
Of course.
She
As
gave
long
you
as
a
that won't
drink.
get you into trouble.
No, you're gonna get a selfie with me. She put a selfie, and you saw some person behind you standing on that selfie. An elder chap, like in the 60s, with a little jacket, with the shirt open, tattoo on his chest, long hairs. But you haven't seen him behind you. If that makes sense. She started posting it. In a moment, her supervisor started telling her off for the phone behind the counter. And you decided this is not your problem. You're going to the private dining room, yeah?
Yep. Well, during what I did say only if it wouldn't get her into trouble.
Normally, this is a place where they're keeping weddings and all that kind of stuff. So, closed double doors, completely soundproof, if you know what I mean. And you see a place with thousands of candles lit up. Enormous space, like it's for the whole banquet, whole wedding could be held in here, but there's one single table at the middle. There's no other source of light other than candles you can smell a nice smell of those. Plenty of rose petals on the floor surrounding the table that also got few candles lit up. The food is already there. There's a smell of probably deer, you would be able to say. At least it smells similar. Very nicely done spice-wise. Yet you see no other person.
Sit at the table, I guess.
You approach the table. The cutlery and plates are definitely not from this place. I mean, no, it's completely different standard. So you had to, like, check where the plates are from and all that kind of stuff. It's your job after all.
Yep. Looking like getting the aromas off the venison and stuff, and being like, oh,
exactly.
Okay, this food's not from here either.
The meat is still covered by the metal plate, but the wine is next to it. The wine from the 16th century. It's like a few thousand pounds for a bottle, and the cloth is from llama skin, also very expensive. The napkins are silk. Different level, completely different level. In a moment you could hear doors opening and you can see a person approaching the table. You looked toward the person, yet no one was there. You looked in front of you, and you see a person sitting. The very same person that bit your neck yesterday night.
What's going on?
Oh, we're having a friendly meal, aren't we?
Are we?
Are we not? Just as a reminder, dark hairs on the side, brown eyes, clean shave. He's wearing Gucci tonight, black jacket, red shirt, opened with some golden chain. Tattoos on the hands and fingers from here. Looking very old. They're coming also from the neck, as you can see. I do apologize for yesterday night interruptions.
Last night definitely happened then.
You have doubts?
More like what others have said makes me doubt. But I remember it. I'm sure in my head that it happens, but I've been told that nothing happened. That what I remember must be wrong.
Yet you remember.
So now what happens?
We're gonna finish when we left off.
This seems like a very different setting to where we were last night.
I had some time to planning and I decided to draw you nicely. So I visit your grandma. I visit Arthur. I make sure that you will come in here willingly. And this time maybe without a weapon. As you know, I don't need it. Yet it is a great motivator, isn't it?
Yeah, I would say.
Exactly.
That's what your name is? Seeing as you already know mine and the names of those closest to me.
For the last 3 centuries I had many names. And as much as I'm aware how stupid it does sound for you, everything will come more reasonable with the time. Through many names that I inherited, through many personalities that I created, my favorite was always Olivia. So you're probably wondering... Sorry?
Is that what I should call you?
Be my guest. Probably wondering, what do I do when I do not drink the blood on a cemetery and when I do not fight off stupid little fuckers like yesterday, and when I do not do such a nicely dinners. Well, I have created an underground surveillance movement that implement a special chain of command across the England. And it's a pyramid scheme, obviously, as it always is. Yet it's got certain level of reward system, if you know what I mean. So technically I got my employees who are well connected, quite famous and influential. And I used their favors in between others to pay for favors in between people out of my employees' Richmond. So, for example, if I would need to make sure that certain minister will do what I'm asking him to do, instead of treating him or kidnapping or whatever, I will use my employee to create a reward system for him, which you could call a bribe. Does that make sense? In a big shortcut, I use people to control people. Is that clear enough?
Yes.
Great. So your lawyer, Mr. Rogers, was my employee, and now my link is broken.
Yes.
Unfortunately, the oppressors of Mr. Rogers are out of my reach. Therefore, I need you to fulfill the place of Mr. Rogers.
What would that entail?
That will entail your certain death. Yet, you would rise. Everything will have logical explanations later on.
Yeah, I would say that none of this sounds possible, but
Of course.
up until last night I would have thought a lot of things impossible.
Your family member, he said. Anthony interrupted me yesterday, which is very bad manner, as it is not his territory or his claims. And in fact, he did turn his my own family against me in that way. So, yeah, he is not in my good list. Yet, he won't stop me now. As I'm afraid he's not welcome anymore in Oxford. Let's be honest, nothing can save you from the fate that I planned for you. As Arthur would say, go through it, adjust, adapt, overcome. What other choice you got? Think about it this way. I will give you everything you want. Power, influence, money, possibilities. Strength. I will make people respect you. Even fear, if that's gonna be what you desire. The next time Dimitri gonna slap your ass, you're gonna rip it off. How does that sound?
Oh, good. But what do I have to do in return?
Sorry?
But what would I have to do in return?
Well, I believe in equality. Equality in the universe is very important. So, I'm gonna give you everything you want. And due to the equality in the universe, you're gonna give me everything I want.
And I'm guessing there is a final solution if I were to say no.
I do not follow.
Well, you say that I would meet my end and rise again if I agree to your terms. I'm guessing if I disagree, it will just be the end.
No. Not in the slightest. You see, I am not asking you, would you? I am not asking for your permission. It's gonna happen this way or another. I'm just helping you get on with it. You're gonna say no, I'm still gonna do what I plan to do. You're gonna say yes, I'm still gonna plan to do what I'm planning to do. If you're gonna start shouting and running through the doors, I will slaughter and murder every single one person out of there who could be able to hear you, and then I'm gonna twist your neck, drink your blood, and still I will make you my daughter. Think about it this way. Do you believe you got impact on your destiny?
Well, I've gotten where I am today through hard work. A couple of deals, but mainly hard work. I believe we make our destiny.
My family used to say he put some rose petals on his plate, start dropping them. That is nothing more beautiful than the beauty itself. Through hard work, you can achieve everything. That's correct. I do not disagree with that. But the people in position stating that through hard work of others, you can achieve more. And like I said, through the pyramid power, you will be a link. And you can work your way through with hard work to become top of the pyramid.
I like the sound of that.
With time, together, we will move the pyramid to the different areas of interest. Controlling the media, financial movements of corporations, information flow, and governments. We will reach further than just England. And I do like to dream big, but I'm well known for planning big instead. This is the reason why you do not have an option. This is the reason why my brother must die. And you gonna help me with it. You gonna be my tool. I will encrypt my blood inside of you. And when the time will come right, you'll get to remember my words. The brave, the wolf, the kindred, and the kine will spare the blood on a sacred ground, and the queen of the moth will be awakened. And then, Rose, no one will ever stop us. How does that sound?
It's pretty great.
Brilliant. He stood up, move across the table and sit on a table next to you. He hold your hand. You will become my daughter, my blood will go through your veins, and I will share with you the secret of Cain, our father. Like what you're hearing? Your body will die, but as long as you feed, you will imitate living, which it's alright, I suppose. Your senses will become insanely high. You will be faster, stronger, pretty much indestructible in many ways that you consider dangerous today. No more diseases, no more aging, immortality in the purest form. And unlimited time to gain resources, influences, power. Is it a lot that you're willing to pay? Are you ready to die for everything you ever wanted? He put his hands on your cheek, forcing you to look him into the eye. I will not hypnotize you. I will not lie to you. I will just talk with you. Tell me. People killing for less. People dying for less.
I don't know if I'll ever be truly ready to die, but what you're promising
It's not
sounds
promise.
very good.
Promise can be not kept. It's a deal. It's a contract. I'm a businessman, you're a businessman. It is a contract, not a promise.
Either way, the deal seems very agreeable.
Right. Good. I need you to say it. If I'm about to do it proper way, in our books, I need you to ask me, to beg me, to kill you. It is a verbal confirmation. Call it that way. But I need you to question me, to beg me, to end your life. I need to hear that you are ready to start your own life in power, control, and as a part of the link. Obviously, only if you want to be important part of that link.
Not exactly in my real house. But I don't see how I can do anything but.
Obviously you can tell me to go fuck myself. I'll still do what I'm intending to do, yet we will lose a lot in our connection.
Someone who always strives for the best, I do not want to be anything less than that.
Well,
So, I am ready. I am ready to be ended, to be one of your tools in the pyramid.
ask me to kill you. Beg me if you want.
Kill me. Kill me and bite me like you did yesterday. Last night. I'd never felt anything like it.
Great. It's gonna happen. Verbal confirmation confirmed. I will bite you. I will drain you dry. And I will feed you my blood. My power will drive through you. Power of my father will, and his father, and all the way up to the Cain himself. And you will become Cainite in the clearest form. But shh, we do have a rule that we do not share that information. It is very important. It is sacred. No one can know that you become a link in the Sabbath.